Hello, buddies. How are you? Okay, good morning. So, today we are going to uh, go to part 2 heat. Going to be very interesting, like a story. But before we go to part 2, we will have a small discussion. One of the topic I missed out, so I just want to teach that. So, have you heard about 0K or 0 Kelvin? It is also called as absolute zero. What is that? So, on Kelvin scale, the 0K is a temperature at which pressure and volume of a gas becomes zero. It's quite interesting, right? Pressure and volume of a gas becomes zero. So, what happens in turn? It affects the molecular motion. So, the molecules also will be affected. Therefore, the molecular motion ceases. So, negative temperature is not possible in Kelvin scale. So, this is called as absolute zero. Very important question. So, what does absolute zero explain? So, you can say that on Kelvin scale 0K is the temperature at which pressure and volume of a gas become zero and makes the molecular motion stop. So, how can you convert this Kelvin into Celsius? So, you know already 0K is equal to minus 273 degrees Celsius. How this has come? So, I arrived it. You know the formula. What formula we learnt in the previous class? T Kelvin is equal to 273 plus T degrees Celsius. So, T Kelvin, here we know the value is 0. 0 is equal to 273 plus T degrees Celsius. Therefore, T degrees Celsius is equal to 0 minus 273, which is nothing but minus 273. So, 0 Kelvin is equivalent to minus 273 degrees Celsius. In Kelvin scale, it is 0. In Celsius, it is minus 273. Okay. So, this is what we missed out in the previous class. So, we have discussed that. Already, you know the ice point, steam point and all. I hope you would have understood. How many equal divisions are there in Celsius and Kelvin? You know, 100 equal divisions. In Fahrenheit, it is 180 equal divisions. So, what is equivalent to 1 degree Celsius? 1 degree Celsius is equal to 9 by 5th degree on Fahrenheit scale. Important. Okay. And finally, we learned this formula. C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9. Okay. Now, we will go to part 2. Going to be very interesting. Okay, children. So, I hope you will cooperate with me. Please don't go away. Okay, don't take any commercial breaks. We have only 15 minutes time. So, listen to the video from the beginning till the end. Okay, so that you will get lot of doubts or queries, so that we can have a nice discussion during our doubt clearing session. Okay. Now, before we go into the topic, we should basically understand what is the meaning of thermal expansion. So, the expansion, what does it mean? When a substance expand or when a body expand or when does it contract? So, the expansion and contraction depends upon certain thing. What is that? So, the body expands whenever it is getting heated up. So, the expansion of a substance on heating and contraction of the substance on cooling, respectively, it's called as thermal expansion and thermal contraction. Here I have written only thermal expansion. The same applies for thermal contraction also. Let me repeat. The expansion of a substance on heating is called thermal expansion of that substance. Got it? Now, we will have a small review of what you learned in the previous class. That will be helpful for us later. So, you know very clearly, solids have a definite shape. So, when it is heated, what happens? It expands in all directions. So, the length increases, the area increases, and the volume increases. Do you remember we learned in 8th standard in detail about the increase in length, which is nothing but linear expansion, increase in area, which is superficial expansion, increase in volume, which is cubical expansion. So, let us, we have seen the same examples I gave in the previous year also. Like when an aluminium rod is heated up, it expands, but the expansion is appreciable with a length. Therefore, this is linear expansion, example of linear expansion. A thin aluminium sheet, what happens in both, its length and breadth increases. Therefore, there will be increase in area, so which is called as superficial expansion. And you consider an aluminium block, and when you heat it up, it expands in all three directions. Okay, all the three. Okay, so therefore, what is it? It is increasing volume, length, breadth, and height. That's what I meant. Length, breadth, and height. So that will be there will be a cubical expansion for this aluminum cube. So this is the concept of what you have learned. See, when you are learning thermal expansion, you should understand that what kind of expansions the solid undergoes. Okay, of course, liquids and gases also undergo expansion, but it undergoes only cubical expansion as they do not have a definite shape. This is again a point of interest already you have learned. Okay, now in your lower classes you have learned that three substances. Have you heard about anomalous expansion? Anomalous means unknown or unknown. Why it is having some substances like water having an abnormal behavior, which is also called as anomalous expansion, which we are going to learn after these three examples. I am going to go with that topic. Okay. Now let us consider water. So what happens? Water behaves abnormally from 0 to 4 degrees Celsius. So when you heat water from 0 degrees, of course 0 degrees Celsius it is in the crystalline form, but still 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, what happens? It undergoes anomalous expansion. We will learn in detail. I am just only mentioning what kind of behavior the water will undergo. Okay. Same way, there are other two substances which you have not learned. This is new this year. One is silver iodide. The anomalous expansion behavior is between 80 degrees Celsius to 141 degrees Celsius. Then about silica, which undergoes anomalous expansion at around minus 80 degrees Celsius. So there is a standard question. Name two substances. You cannot include water. Look at the question. Name two substances other than water which undergoes anomalous expansion. So what are the two examples? And they will ask you to mention the temperature range also. So it's a 2-mark question. So silver iodide 80 degrees Celsius to 141 degrees Celsius. Silica, which is around minus 80 degrees Celsius. Got it? Okay. Now we will go in detail about anomalous expansion. Now here I have taken an example. This is a simple diagrammatic representation to explain anomalous expansion so that you will understand in a better way. Okay. Here I have not taken a thermal expansion. I have taken contraction. Anything you can take. Here I have considered about thermal contraction. That means the temperature is falling down. Look at the symbol T. I have put a downward arrow. That means the temperature is coming down or it is cooling down. Okay. Now you see the water, the water molecules. This is just an representation. Okay. So you have to see the diagram and understand. Even when you are explaining anomalous expansion in the exam or the test also, you can put the same diagram and explain. No botheration. Okay. So let us consider the water molecules at 27 degrees Celsius. You can see the spacing. Okay. It will be at a normal. The spacing is quite appreciable. Now the temperature is falling down. So what happens? As the temperature falls down, the bodies or the substances contract. That is a general term, general theme, or it is conventionally believed that any substance which is, when it is cooling down, automatically it contracts. So how it is contracting, you can see. So it keeps on contracting up to 4 degrees Celsius. So you know very clearly the abnormal behavior is between 0 and 4 or 4 to 0. That is the concept of water. Okay. We are not discussing about silver iodide, only for water we are seeing. Now look at the second diagram. Compare these two. The molecules are so dense. What do you mean by dense? Dense means it is crowded. So the molecules contract. The contraction is maximum. Therefore, it is called as a dense region, or you can even say it is having the highest density. I hope you have understood. Okay. So you comparatively you have to understand. So the particles or the molecules contract itself maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. Therefore, in 8th standard, you have learned what is the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Then you will say 1 gram per centimeter cube or 1000 kilogram per meter cube. And you will say that is a maximum density. Now, did you understand why they are saying maximum density? Still, wait. Let me finish the explanation, then you will understand. Okay. Till 4 degrees Celsius, okay, it has contracted. Again, the temperature is falling down. Check it up, children. First, it is 27 degrees Celsius. Next, it has come to 4 degrees Celsius. Again, the temperature is falling from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. So, from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius, instead of contracting, what happens? It expands. That is the reason you are calling it as anomalous expansion of water, which takes place between 4 and 0 degrees Celsius. So, what is that? Look at the spacing. it has started expanding. Compare this to, the spacing is more. Again, still you are going to reduce, but before you reduce, as soon as it comes to 0 degrees Celsius, automatically the water expands and then it forms a crystalline, it crystallizes itself to form ice formation. That also you know. Now, still further you are reducing, further from 0 till some minus values. What happens? It will be in the solid form itself. So this is called as the condensation point. In 8th standard you have learned. So what is condensation point? What is the main concept of condensation point? Water, which is the point at which the water converts into ice or crystallizes into solid form. Both the water also will be at 0 degrees Celsius. The ice also will be at 0 degrees Celsius. Similarly, you have learnt about steam point. So what is steam point? Water also will be at 100 degrees Celsius, which converts into steam. Exactly, steam also will be at 100 degrees Celsius. That is a connective point. Actually, 0 degrees Celsius, even the water is also at 0 degree. And slowly, immediately, it keeps on crystallizing. That crystal form also is 0 degrees Celsius. Did you understand? So, now compare all the 4 diagrams, children. Here, look at the spacing, and spacing. Everywhere it is more, except for this at 4 degrees Celsius. What are you seeing? It is having the highest density, crowded region. So, the density is maximum in only one diagram here, which is that temperature, the respective temperature is 4 degrees Celsius. So from this diagram, this is a concept of anomalous expansion. From this diagram, can we see the consequences one by one? Yes. Let us see the consequences. Now, what is the first consequence? You understood from this diagram that please learn from the diagram, then it is easy. Don't mug up. Learn from the diagram. So density is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. Am I correct? From the diagrammatic representation I have written. Density is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. Right? Now, come to the second point. Now, all of you will answer this question. 7th standard also have learned. Why does ice floats on water? Then every child, every student will write. Because the density of ice is less than water. Maybe you would have not understood. You would have learned theoretically. But now you have understood practically. See children, this is ice. Already it is in the expanded state. So when you compare the density of ice and this water is 4 degrees Celsius, you know the density is maximum here, but the density of ice is less. Therefore, what happens when you drop that ice into this water? What happens? Automatically, it starts floating. So, I have written a statement here. Ice floats in water because the density of water at 0 degrees Celsius is less than the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Okay. So, density of water at 0 degrees Celsius means automatically you have to consider that it converts into a crystalline form and it becomes ice. So, ice is floating in water. This is a second interesting consequence. Children, I know these consequences of anomalous expansion, maybe 1 or 2 is given in your textbook, but some are not in your textbook. Please listen to the video carefully. If you want, you can note it down in your homework book also. These points, if you want, you can note it down in your homework book. Okay. Now, let us see the third very interesting point. What is that? So, how do aquatic plants and animals? See, aquatic plants and animals living in a tropical area is okay. But aquatic plants and animals do exist in even cold countries like Russia, Japan, or region in polar regions also. So how is it possible? Is it not so surprising and wondering for us to understand? So what is helping them to survive? Anomalous expansion of water is helping them. Now let me, I'm going with a better explanation. I've drawn a bigger diagram. Okay, so this is a pond. I'm just drawn a small pond. Okay, in a cold country. Consider any cold country. So what will happen during nights or during winters? Winter season, you know, in Canada and places in Russia, the temperature falls below 0 also. It goes even up to 0, minus 27, minus 25 and all. Okay. So the temperature keeps on falling during the night. The night it will be, the temperature fall will be more, very appreciable. So the temperature is keeping on falling down. So I have taken an example. Say for example, 10 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. So, that's what I have written here also. Initially, the first point wise I have written. See children, in the textbook they are given in a very lengthy manner. Not needed to write all those. Just these 4 points if you write, that is more than enough. Okay. So, don't worry. Now, even in the video if you missed out, don't worry. While writing the notes, I am going to include this question. And I will put the same 4 points for you to understand. Okay. So, initially, the temperature falls from 10 degrees to 0 degrees Celsius. Now, you have to just tell me that what happens when temperature is falling from 10 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. will it have a normal behavior or abnormal behavior? It will have a normal behavior. Water will behave normally from any temperature till 4 degrees Celsius. Okay. So the temperature, as the temperature is falling, the water, the density of the water becomes heavy, or the density increases, and the water keeps on sinking down to the bottom, till 4 degrees Celsius. Now, what is the second point? Still, it is cooling down from 4 degrees Celsius to 0 degrees Celsius. Now, what happens? You know very clearly, from 4 to 0 degrees Celsius, it is going to have an abnormal behavior, or which is also called as anomalous expansion. So, instead of contracting, it expands. Here comes the story. Okay. So, instead of contracting, it expands. So, water will be in the liquid form. It stops sinking down now. So, water stays as it is. Okay, water is keeping on staying as it is. But still, you would have seen practically in any documentation, Discovery Channel, you would have seen that the lakes will be frozen lakes. On the surface, it will be totally ice formation. Total ice formation is there. So, how is it? You know very clearly, at 0 degrees Celsius, water slowly crystallizes, and still imagine it has fallen, it keeps on falling down to minus 10 degrees Celsius. Imagine the temperature from 10 to minus 10. Let us have this is an example only, okay. So, the temperature has fallen up to minus 10 degrees Celsius. Totally it forms, the ice formation is there on the surface of the pond. You would have seen, is it not? People even walk on the pond during the winter season, okay. So, the water just below the ice will be at 0 degrees Celsius itself. And look at the bottom, what is the what is the temperature maintained? It is 4 degrees Celsius, and totally it is in the liquid form. So, this is the new point which you have to learn. Again, you may ask a question, ma'am, how is it, ma'am, why it is not, why this water is not coming up, and then why it is not forming ice? Why completely it is not filled with ice? There is a twist here in the story. What is the twist? Let us see. See, you are seeing the ice formation, is it not? You know very clearly, ice is an insulator, or ice is a bad conductor of heat. Have you learnt in your lower classes? 7th standard you have learnt. So, ice is a insulator of heat. So, it will not allow the heat to escape to the atmosphere. So, it totally protects. Water is in the liquid form itself, and when it reaches here, the heat is not radiated to the atmosphere. So, automatically it is just in the form of ice, and below the pond, the water is maintained with any temperature, even if it is minus degrees Celsius, minus degrees also. What happens? The water is remained in the liquid form itself under the pond. So, therefore, aquatic plants and animals survive successfully in ponds, even in the cold countries like Canada or Russia or wherever it is. Are you understanding? So, these 4 points you write, that is enough. So, let us see here in a short way. First, what is happening? Temperature is, say for example, I am just giving an example, 10 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. So, it contracts. So, automatically, water will sink to the bottom. Okay. Then at 0 degrees Celsius, slowly it gets starts crystallizing. You know clearly, from 4 to 0 degrees Celsius, instead of contracting, it expands. So, water stops sinking down. Of course, it will be the water just below the ice will be 0 degrees Celsius. Still, it falls to minus 10 degrees Celsius. Completely, it forms the ice on the surface. But what is underneath? Water is there. Therefore, aquatic plants and animals are living. And what is making this water to be maintained in liquid state itself? Because ice is an insulator of heat. It is not allowing the heat to radiate to the atmosphere. That's it. Okay, children. So, you learn this. It is very important. Learn. If you have any doubt, I will explain. Now, we are coming to the last 3 consequences I have taken. Okay. Now, anomalous expansion of water is responsible for burst of water pipelines, and destruction of crops during very cold nights in cold countries. This is a big crisis, stigma, or a problem, big problem in cold countries, that how the water pipelines are to be maintained. Okay. How they are protected, you will be learning in 10th standard. How these water pipelines and the crops are protected also you will be learning. But now only you learn the consequence, the bad impact. Okay. So, I have drawn a diagram for a water pipeline. It is considered this is a water pipeline. And see the arrow marks. I have drawn these arrow marks. So, temperature is falling down. So, what is that? From 10 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius, no problem. It contracts. But from 4 to 0 degrees Celsius, what is happening? It expands. So, when water in the pipe is expanding, what happens? It exerts lot of pressure on the walls. That's why I put the arrow mark in both the sides. Both opposite directions are given. Okay, so it keeps on exerting pressure on both the sides and makes the pipelines will be about to burst. Of course, it is protected. The protected waste will be dealt in tensionate. Now you don't bother. Okay, now the same way you are seeing the plants. I've just drawn a simple diagram. The capillaries of the plants. Are you able to see? This is a capillary. Of course, when water also will enter, water will be present in these capillaries. So during cold season, or when the temperature is keeping on falling during winter season, what happens? The water in them from 4 degrees, when the temperature falls from 4 to 0 degrees Celsius, water keeps on expanding and makes the capillary to burst. So again, this is a bad consequence. Even though anomalous expansion is having a good consequence with the, aquatic plants and animals, there is a bad consequence for the pipelines and the plants. See children, always there will be, if any phenomena is surviving in this world, it will have both good consequences, advantages and disadvantages, or good consequences and bad consequences. Okay, so anyway, we have seen both. So understand this concept of anomalous expansion. First you learn the definition and try to understand, listen to the video carefully, be patient. I know children, you are listening to so many videos. Whenever you are in a very active mood, maybe in the morning's time, as soon as you get up, switch over, see this heat part 2, automatically you sit and listen to the video, you will understand. You need not even learn later. If you listen with 100% concentration, you will not even, there is no necessity for you to learn from the textbook. Okay, so let us come to the assignment part. Theoretical assignment, that is learn questions 1 to 9 in page 129, exercise 6a. Okay children, I hope you would have enjoyed this video. So next class also we are going to have something very interesting for you. Thank you children, be safe. Okay, bye bye.